people don't talk about it, but like Pacific Islanders are like top 3 in the nation to deal with like depression, like to deal with mental health, like, and I had to tell them, I was like, and you know that it's a problem that our culture don't talk about it, because when I did my own research, you can barely find anything online about it. Like they don't talk about it. And then I like I just told them, like, like Fiji, when I was doing my research on Fiji, Fiji had literally admitted in one of their articles that they never documented their suicide records because of the fact that it would have drawn tourists away from their island. Like, it was just like little things like that. Like, and, me telling them, like, Tonga's another one. Like, Tonga got high records of suicide cases that they never like documented. And it was because of like they didn't want to bring shame to their island. Like, and it's just little things like that, like that. Like, these kids really were like, dang, like, it makes sense. And so
I know,
I don't know.
I know. New Zealand has like the highest rate of suicide
Yeah,
for
New Zealand is
for
definitely,
for teenagers in the world. They're number
yeah,
one.
yeah, they definitely are. And then also in New Zealand, it was like I told them, because one of my kids had asked me, they were like, they're like, oh, like, we bet you don't know this answer. And I was like, okay, what? And they're like, so what's the youngest person, that you come across that committed suicide? And they're like, like, what's the highest rates? Little did he know I had a whole slide on it already.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
but I don't know, we like went through it, and like I told him, I was like, the youngest person that's ever like committed suicide that they have documentations of, like records of, is 12, like a little 12-year-old boy. And like I told them, I was like, and like that's sad, because my daughter is 7, like that's not too far from like that age. And just to think that like little like 12-year-old like kids are like out here like committing suicide just because they feel so alone, like it it doesn't sit right with me.
yeah.
um they were like, they just started asking me, like where had like the places, like I told them like New Zealand was like a top one, Samoa was a top one. I know like back, and like I think it was like the 1960s or 70s, Tonga was like one of the top ones. And so like I was just going through like and telling them and teaching them, and then like at the end of it, I actually like I wanted to save time just for them to talk, like in case like one of them wanted to share their story. Of course, I wanted them to feel comfortable first, so like I shared my story first with them. You know, I had to be vulnerable with my kids in order for me to want my kids to be vulnerable with me. So that's what I did. And then not only that, I had my niece come in. Um, this was actually my niece's first time speaking on her story about like her suicide attempts and her battle with depression and stuff. And so like that's kind of basically what my workshop was like about, was just like teaching them, educating them, and sharing with them, just so that way they know like you guys aren't alone, and you guys don't have to feel like you are alone. So I think what really helped them was like just being more educated on it, and like the fact that they like they love the fact that I was able to share my story with them, like, because like to them, like they told me, they're like, yeah, like honestly, like we just thought that you was up here like just gonna be talking out your ass. And I was like, nah, like I'm talking to you from experience. Like I'm like, I get it. Like I really do. And so like, yeah, I don't know. They started talking after though, like, like I had kids sharing, like they wanted to talk and share their stories. And so that's kind of like what I'm all about, I guess, was just that, like, just trying to be the difference, trying to like be the voice for those who feel like they don't have one, you know?
Yeah, and I'm glad you're here now sharing.